New product alert by Teexpert. Let's test it, shall we? Hey guys, Stephanie with Steffy Jewels, the spot for crafters, jewelry makers, and the do-it-yourselfers. And today I will be reviewing Teexpert's UV resin and molds. Now, this company, Teexpert, reached out to me to see if I wouldn't mind testing out these products. So before I even start with the test, just want you to know that this is not a sponsored video, nor is it paid by Teexpert. So these are my truly honest opinions of how this product works. Now, I have never actually heard of this company until they reached out to me, but when I looked on Amazon, I noticed the name of some of the brands. But just like anybody out there who use UV resin or epoxy, if I don't really recognize the brand, I don't just pick any brand. So I am happy to test this out for these guys and see if they can stand the test for us jewelry makers. Now, I will be putting another video out for crafters because I just want to make this strictly for the jewelry maker, because I have the molds here that are for jewelry makers, and of course the UV resin. So I'm just going to test this out. Now, if you're new to UV resin, then I will leave a link down below, as well as a card up here and above in the corner, up here, yeah, where you can actually look at those videos on how UV resin is and how to work it. But today we're just going to test these two out and see how it works. So let's get started. Okay, so just a couple of things. These I actually purchased through Amazon, and I will leave links down below in the description, as well as anything else that I mentioned in this video. Now, just to begin with, I am part of the Amazon affiliation program, so any links or products that I mentioned on this video, if you click on the link, I do earn a small commission. So just want to go ahead and give you a heads up. Now, a couple of, information that I found by researching the product before I purchased it, that it is made from high quality, non-toxic materials. It has a crystal clear finish, self-degazing, which means, once you pour your resin out, it kind of helps pop the bubbles a little bit easier. It is low odor, shrink resistant, anti-yellowing, and it has a fast curing of 2 to 4 minutes. So let's go ahead and start opening it. So I'm going to open up the UV resin first. And right off the back, you can see how it comes in. It comes with 2 bottles. Look like something there, a little something over here. Oops, right there. And then some information there. So let's go ahead and just open it up. So right now you get 2 bottles at 100 grams, which I think is pretty great, because this is the bottle that I normally use right now from a different brand, and this one is 100 grams too. But as you can see by size, this one looks a little bit taller. I'm sure you can tell, but yeah, this one looks taller right here, and this one is more fatter, so you can kind of see. But 200 grams to 100 grams, so that is a plus for me, that you get more. You get a pair of gloves, and you get a booklet here that is basically a user manual on how to work it. So it just basically kind of gives you some information on how to pour, mix, and use your UV resin. And you also get this little card right here. If you're not happy with your product, or if you are unhappy, they have this little card right here, front and back. So that is the UV resin. Now let's open up the box that is mainly for the molds. So first, when you open it up, it looks just like this. So it has all kinds of neat stuff in it. So let's go ahead and take this stuff out. So like, you got some molds here and some findings. You got some toothpicks, another pair of gloves, mica powder, 6 of them, and glitter, and this cute little bag that looks like, when you open it up, you could even put all that stuff in, or you could probably even fit your bottles in here. So that's kind of cute. So let's go ahead and just open up this packet here. All right. So right off the back, I see we have a couple jump rings. So it looks like we have 4 types of jump rings here in different colors. We have 2 sets of earring fish hooks. This is like gold plated, and this is silver plated. And we have 3 molds. We have this mold right here, this one, and this one. Now, one thing I noticed right here that this mold is very thin. It is silicone, so this works perfect for UV resin. I actually have, let me go grab real quick. This is another mold that I have here, and you can see it's kind of thicker, really thick, and this one's more thinner. Now, you can still use UV resin in this one as well, but I do like the fact that this one is very thin, so it makes it easier for your light to go through. The only thing that this kit does not come with that you will need will be, of course, your flashlight for UV or a lamp. So now that I have all these materials out, let me go ahead and clear it out the way, and let's start working on our very first test using Teexpert UV Resin. So let me clear this off, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and took out the molds, and I chose 2 micro powders and 2 of the glitters. Now, this is a happy coincidence, but this is my brand color, so if you ever see my website, steffyjewels.com, or anything, I use these 2 colors all the time, so that's a plus for me right now, because I like seeing my brand colors. So I'm going to actually probably make something using one of these 3 molds, and then here are the actual glitters that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, for me, and I'm going to go ahead and put this out here, always just practice safety measures. So if you use anything, whether it's UV resin or epoxy resin, you do want to be in a well-ventilated area when you use anything. I'm in a whole separate room by myself. It's pretty big, so I don't really have too much issue with smell, especially when I use UV resin or any resin. I always get the low odor, so I'm definitely going to test that because this product does state that it has low odor, so we're going to find out. I also do not use gloves for UV resin because I don't really actually touch the resin like you would do with epoxy. So I basically just kind of take this and I will pour it in the molds, or actually, I'm actually going to pour in these cups here. So I'm actually pour them in the cups and then mix them, then basically just pour it in there. So I normally do not touch anything, but if I do, I always have baby wipes near me as well as paper towels. So I'll make sure that I have something in here. But if you're very sensitive to any type of liquid or anything, I do suggest to wear the gloves that come with it, as well as a respiratory mask. I don't use that, you know, I just never need to for UV resin. So let me go ahead and let's get started. So I think I'm going to start with, I'm going to actually try to make something here with this mold. Because I just like, because it has the little point there. I'm sure you can see that. But it has a point right there and 3 right here. So now I can hang something here and then hang something down there. So I think that would be a cute little pendant to make. So first thing first, I'm going to go ahead and move this out the way. And I'm going to take the 2 pins that I have with me. I also got other stuff I'm using. I got these silicone stirrers as well. And this is a plastic stirrer. So, and I'll leave everything down below where I got these items from. So let's go ahead and, well, first thing first, let me shake this. I like to shake anything. And most of these usually always have a seal behind it. So let's check. And it does. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. And on this part, you might want to use, you know, oh, this came out, so I'm just going to put it back in here. It might help keep some of the resin from seeping through. Let me put that on here. There we go, if I can. If not, it's just not going to be on. Alright, as long as best I can, I'll just basically try to put that on there. But yeah, for something like this, you might want to put gloves on because depending on how much resin on top, like I said, there's a little resin up there, so I'm used to knowing where it is. I don't really touch it too much, but even if I do, I just basically, I got my wipes here, so I'll just wipe my hands off real quick. And I'll make sure I'm far enough, but close enough so you can see. Okay, so just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna, you know, just kind of sniff it real quick. And technically, like most resin, so this resin and this one, it smells the same to me. So, but right now it's open. I don't smell it. Unless you stick your nose right in like I just did. With it being open like this, I don't smell any resin. So it might be a little odor after all. So the first thing I always do is I will pour my resin in the cup. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick. Kind of fast forward a little bit so you're not just watching me. Because I go into very detail on how to mix stuff in a couple videos. So I'm just basically going to test this out. So I'll fast forward me mixing it, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to talk. Okay, I came back on because I just wanted to show you how I basically put probably put way too much resin powder or mica powder in there. You really don't need that much mica powder in there, but just, just to kind of test out how it looks, I just kind of put like one little half a scoop here on my thing. As you can see, there's like half a scoop. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix this. So I'll go ahead and keep this live real quick and just mix it real quick. And like I said, with UV resin, I really don't even touch the UV resin. So that's why I said. And now, of course, the powder, if you don't want powder or glitter on you, then yeah, I'll recommend putting the gloves on. But like I said, I keep my big wipes. So if I don't really want glitter or powder on me, I'll just wipe my hands off real quick. So right now, like I said, I'm stirring this. I'm pretty much about maybe a few feet away from it, because I basically stare away from it. I don't stare with my nose over it. So if you do see that you are kind of sensitive to smell, just kind of stare a little bit further out, or like I said, just wear a mask. So right now I'm staring it, and let's see. I don't smell it as I'm mixing it, so right now, yes, it is low odor. So another thing I noticed too, it's very fluid. So see, it's like soupy, and that's what you want with UV resin. You kind of want it soupy. If it starts to look like it's not running too well, that means your resin is pretty old. So this resin is not old. I do have another brand that I use, and well, like I say, I used it, but when I got this kit for overseas. This resin actually was thick, so if I pour this in here, it's like almost like thick soup, like pea soup. So yeah, you really want to make sure that the resin you get is not already old. So that was mixed right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off real quick, and go ahead and mix my blue. So mix that quick. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward that too and make the other one. So be right back with that one. Alright, so I mixed both those two together. So right now I'm going to see, how it's self-degassing. So right now, you probably can't see here too well, but I don't really see too many bubbles in there. So look, it is, self-degassing itself, and it's popping out. The blue right here, I might need to put a little bit more resin in there, because I think I have more powder than resin. But that's okay, I'm just testing right now. So, but yeah, I do see like the bubbles coming up. So let's see if it kind of pops a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it does kind of self-pop a little bit. Oh, and this mat right here too, this is a silicone mat. So anything, resin, paint, or whatever will not stick. Will not stick to it. So that's why I love working on this type of surface. And then of course I got a towel underneath that. So now let's go ahead and carefully pour this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one of the toothpicks out. Oh, can't open it. Okay. And I'm going to just move this away here and try to pour this right here. So let's just pour a little bit on it and let that stop. And then we're going to pour a little bit more over here. Just kind of doing some type of cool design. Alright. And then turn around and go back over here. Now, if you don't really want to mix your two colors right now, I don't care about mixing right now, just kind of want to see how it looks, then you will actually pour what you want first, cure it, and then you pour next round. So, but I'm just really want to go ahead and pour these two in here and mix them a little bit. Let's see how it looks. Alright. This one here too. There. And then I'm going to take my mold and just kind of drop it down, just to kind of make sure it's fully up to the top. And then with the toothpick, I like to do is kind of make sure, if I want to mix it a little bit, I'm just going to go around the edges here, because I just want to make sure I don't have any bubbles around the edges. So I'm just going to kind of go around that a little bit. And like I said, if you don't want to mix your actual colors, then you would just kind of pour what you want first, let it cure, and then do it again. Now, this only works really for UV resin. This is kind of hard to do with epoxy resin, so that's why I kind of like using UV resin for stuff like this. And I think I need to pour just a little bit more. Oh, here, gonna look like it's not really filled up to the top. So just a little bit, there we go. And then like I said, it's also self-leveling too. Most UV resin are, so yeah, as soon as I pour it, it basically levels out to it. But there. Now I do see a little bubbles in here, so what I'm gonna actually do is I actually have a heating gun right beside me. Just plug it in real quick and try to pop some of the bubbles out. So, sorry for that noise real quick. I just want to pop some of these out real quick. And actually, that is way too high. So, I'm just going to do that. And let's see here. So, it looks like, yeah, I finally popped my bubbles. There might be a little bit some in here. So, well, let me try to see if I can pop it a little bit. So, noise alert. Alright, and look like I said, I don't see too many more bubbles. I see some around the edges here, but like I said, I just really want to test how this actually works. Okay, so now that I have that here, let me change my plugs. And then turn on my UV lamp. So now this is, like I said, this is a nail UV lamp right here. I'm going to move this out the way so that don't cure. Make sure you don't have nothing that you don't want cure near your item. So I'm going to go ahead and put this under the lamp for about 4 minutes. Well, first I'm going to try I'm going to do 4 minutes first on this one. And then we're going to way down. So I'm going to go ahead and cure it real quick and come right back. Okay guys, so I went ahead and did the 4 minutes on the front. And I wanted to leave my actual lamp here, as you can see this right here. But I actually, if you remember my videos that I posted on UV resin, I actually always flip my mold over so that way I can cure the back too. So that's why I want you to see that. So this was 4 minutes. I did it for 4 minutes up front. I flipped it and I just did 3 minutes just to be on the safe side. Now, one thing you want to make sure is before you even demold any resin, well, basically UV resin, that your piece is actually cool. And how you can test that is that you can kind of feel the back of it. If it feels warm to touch, then that piece is still warm. So this is how it looks right now with the cure. So as you can see, nothing's coming out. There's no liquid. So that tells you right now that it is cured. So now let's go ahead and slightly kind of touch it to see if it's sticky. And I don't feel no stickiness. So that's good. So there's no stickiness. So now let's go ahead and demold it. So I'm just gonna, and it pops out really easy. So there goes that. And there goes the piece. Now I always like to kind of twist it to see here. You know, now this is pretty thin, so I really won't twist it too much because it might break. And that's going to be the only thing I think is a downside for these molds right here, honestly, that yes, it is thin enough. I mean, as you saw from what I showed earlier, let me get that back out real quick. This one's pretty thick, but these are more for pendants, so I can get, you know, I can see why these are thicker because you wanted this to be thick. And these are mostly for like earrings, or like I said, this can be a pendant too because it has 3, well, it could be both because I've seen chandelier earrings like that. But yeah, for earrings you kind of want it light, so it is very light, but on the air caution, like I said, it might break a little bit. So what I will probably do with something like this is I will probably put another layer of the UV resin on top just to kind of give it a little more of a crystal hard finish. So that is how that one looks right there. So the back of it right here, that's how the back looks, and this is how the front looks. Now you can't really tell, but there is like a little lip here. So I will probably end up putting like more resin on top of it because I should have kind of got the mold, filled the mold up a little bit. But that was just kind of testing it. So now I'm going to do it with the glitter. So I'm going to use the same mold again, but this time using glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and take another 2 cups here. Let's focus back up here. So I'm going to take another 2 cups here. And same thing, I like to always shake up the resin. It's just a preference for me. You don't have to, but I like doing it. And I'm just going to pour, actually no, this ain't the one I used. I might want to have to put a mark on it so I know which one I opened up. So, but yeah, pour a little bit here. And a little bit here. And actually, why I got something in here before I even do the glitter. Let's test out how it looks when it's crystal clear. So I'm just going to basically pour the resin directly into this mold. So let's go ahead and pour it right here. And actually, I'm going to get a little closer because I'm a little too far from it. So let me just go ahead and get a little closer. All right. And you always want to pour a little bit on it. Like I said, it is self-leveling a little bit. So, and see, I see little bubbles here. So I'm going to take this and try to pop them. And yeah, it popped very quickly. So there goes the self-degassing. So yeah, it pops so quickly with that. So I'm just going to pour a little resin in here. Okay, and just a drop here. And a drop there. And a drop there. All right, and then just kind of wipe that off. Then always put the top on. I can see, like I said, I basically have nothing sticky on me because I'm basically just pouring in here. Now, of course, if you forget which side the stick you touch, that's probably the only time you see it. But yeah. So yeah, so the bubbles pop pretty quickly when you just use it. And now with this being clear, now I can go ahead and run my toothpick around the edges real quick. And all this reassures that I don't have any bubbles trapped there. This technique you also will want to do as well if you're using UV resin. And I don't think I have enough resin. Yeah, I do. I'm just kind of spreading it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cure real quick. And I'll be right back. Okay, so guys, I went ahead and did that one for clear. So let's go ahead and, like I said, same thing. And right now, just want to show this real quick. You can't even see that there's any resin right here. So yes, it is crystal clear because all my molds look the same in the back. And on the front, same thing. So yes, it do have a crystal clear finish. I mean, you can barely tell that there's anything in that one when it's clear. You can see the little shininess right here when I do that. But other than that, if I just hold like this, it looks like just a basic mold. So yes, this UV resin has a crystal clear finish. Now once again, I'm going to touch, make sure it's not sticky. Touch the back, it's not warm, and then just kind of pop it. So go ahead and pop it, and here it is clear. So, and let's see if I can kind of get it a little bit clearer if you can see it. So yeah, it's probably going to be hard to see that because it's clear. But like I say, it is crystal clear. So yeah, you can see right, oops, you can see right through it. Front and back. So yes, it is crystal clear. So yes, that is another plus. So yeah, low odor, crystal clear finish. The bubbles do self-degassing, so there is the second one. Now, one thing I did not mention, which, like I said, I think I mentioned on my UV resin videos, that when you cure any UV resin, you do smell a little bit of it, but that's only if you're right over it. Now, I'm in a 10 by 10 extra bedroom, so if I'm in the other side of the room, excuse me, I don't smell nothing. So now let's go back and finish our last example. This is too clear that I did. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some glitter in here. So I'm going to put glitter in one and glitter in two and glitter in another one. Okay, I just touched it because I don't know if there was a film on it, but yeah, just kind of put a little bit in here. So one there. Put that right there. Close it up. Oh, another thing too, like I said, if you have a fan on, keep your fan on. But I think I mentioned that in one of my videos too, that I usually keep a ceiling fan or, you know, a self-oscillating fan on when I work with any resin to kind of help move any smells that might be in the room. But like I said, UV resin does not have a lot of smell to it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and, I said, wipe this off here. I'm gonna go ahead and mix these two up, pour it, and then go ahead and do the UV resin on this. So I'll be right back when I finish those two. Okay, so I went ahead and finished doing this one. This one I did a little bit different. I actually cured the bottom layer first, and then I cured the second layer, or this next color next. So that way it won't look like it blended in too well. Not sure if you can see that, but yeah. And this is just the glitter. So same thing here. I always do the back of that first, and then it clears. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this mold out. And like I said, no stickiness, pretty sturdy, but that's how it looks. Okay, just a quick recap. In the resin mold kit, you get 3 molds, you get powders and glitters, toothpicks, gloves, various findings, and this cute little bag. For the resin kit, you get 2 bottles of resin at 100 grams, you get gloves, and you get this cute little book. So as you can see right here as the results for these 3, this one I used first with the mica powders, came out perfectly, not too bad, front and back. This one, just the resin by itself, very crystal clear, you can see right through it. And this one is with the glitter, same thing. It has a low odor. It cured within 2 to 4 minutes. I actually did it for 4 minutes. I won't know if it's going to be anti-yellowing because I have to wait over time to see if this turns color, but I will keep an eye on it. If it turns yellow, I'll let you know. But so far, most UV resins, some do, some don't. I haven't ran into none that did. The only suggestion I will have for Teexpert is maybe add one of these bottles to your mold kit. Make it easier for beginners who were starting out, because when I first started out with resin, I bought a kit. I didn't want to buy resin first. I bought the entire kit, and then maybe even throw in one of these lamps. Not necessarily because I bought mine separately, but I have seen kits out there that comes with one of those 2 things. So yeah, just add a bottle, and then when they get through with it, then they can buy this again with 2 bottles. So overall, Steffy Jewels is happy with this product. So if you have any questions, please drop them down below in the description. I will leave links down below for these items right here. Once again, I am part of the Amazon Associate Program, so if you do click on one of these links, I do earn a small commission. Like I said, I'm not paid, or this is not sponsored by Teexpert. They just reached out to me saying, hey, would you mind purchasing this and trying it out for us and let me know. So that's exactly what I did. I actually bought this out of my own pocket. So that was it. It was pricey. That's why I said a suggestion for them is maybe add it to a kit. Lucky for them, I was looking for some more resin because I was wanting to try a second resin because I like to have options when I'm working with UV resin. So it's like they knew I was looking for resin. So yeah, I was gonna buy some anyway. So I'm glad I did. I'm very happy with it. I'm impressed with it. I would definitely use this again. So if you see any videos in the future from me using resin, I'll probably be using this more than anything. Well, I might use the other one first to get rid of it so it don't get thick on me. But I definitely will be going to this one going forward because I do like this. So if you have any questions, like I said, leave it down below in the description. Make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, you hit that thumbs up button, so that way you are notified on my next videos or any product reviews that I do in the near future. Once again, this is your girl Stephanie with Steffy Jewels, and this is the spot for crafters, dream makers, and the do-it-yourselfers. Hope to see you soon. Bye!